Check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay, fine. Mic is on. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. That's about as good as it is going to get. We got Strig in the house. We got G in. How you guys doing? That did not work. A little bit of a delay there, huh? Oh no, you guys did not get the screen. Alright, let's check this out. Right, looking at Bitcoin on 2 hour. Why is it I can't seem to get the chats on here? I don't know, we have dead air. For those of you that don't know, you just kind of chill and look at the charts right now. I am on the road with my family, visiting some of my other family. And so we got a little mobile setup that we're just kind of testing out here. And in just a moment, I'll be able to see the chat. All right, I think we are good to go. So we got Strago, we got JEN. Hey, glad to have you guys here. I think we are good to go. So we got Strago, well, Bitcoin, steadily moving on up, just the way we like it. Starting to get into this red Ichimoku cloud area. Come up just a little bit higher, like start out at a higher time frame, namely on the daily, which is getting dangerously close to this green Ichimoku cloud area, right? Ooh, I don't like that. It makes me feel a little nervous. Usually drags us into it. Down to these areas about 28. The thing that's been on our side, though, is that it's been finding support at the 50 moving average for the last several days, 4 days in a row. Lots of buy pressure coming in there. That's a good sign. Help us out. Maybe we'll get a bounce off of this. Sometimes that happens. It's getting a bounce off these clouds. But if something don't happen soon, it may be coming down to some of these lower levels. Probably a good idea to look at the weekly, see what the weekly says. The weekly says, oh yeah, I've got that in mind. So there we go. Higher time frames rule. Weekly says down. Not bad. We've seen it say down before while we've been in this cloud. Last time it came down 25,000. Shouldn't be quite that bad this time. It does put this area into play just right at 28,000 though. But once we do touch one of these trend lines, get a bounce off of one of them, whether it be testing the 9 again, that's possible. On the weekly, we are above this 9 moving average. That's a very positive sign. That's very bullish overall. So even though we've got some signs of it being a little bit exhausted, a little bit tired, there's still lots of good signs. Even here on the weekly saying, this move is nowhere near over, nowhere near complete. And if we do, if you notice Bitcoin's history here, and we talk about Bitcoin because it affects everything. Our altcoins, our bags. So we have to track Bitcoin if we want to be successful with our altcoins. But notice after we flipped around here, found our bottom at 15,000s, we caught above the 9 moving average. We've been bullish ever since then. Whenever we would break through, we would come down to the 21. And you'll see that this is a positive trend on any time frame when you see these same conditions being met. That's just a good upswing. And so it's possible. A little early, I think, for it to come back down to the 21. More than likely, we will see about 2 or 3 weeks down in Bitcoin. Not necessarily a terrible thing, it's just a healthy correction, and it also gives us the time to add it to our bags before it breaks out of the Ichimoku cloud and we start going into the 30,000s again. So we got an opportunity coming as far as Bitcoins. There could also be an opportunity for altcoins. And it's probably a good idea to take a closer look at that. Currently, right now, Bitcoin is getting just a little bit more bullish on the smaller time frames. On the 4 hours, wanting to come back up. This is more than likely a bearish retest. And we did fall out of this channel here, so that would be a nice move to come back up to these higher areas. 30,000, possibly 30,250. I am not so sure that we'll get lucky enough to see that. But definitely around 29.9, just right under through 30,000. That should play out fairly well. But this is a bearish pattern. It does have a tendency to break to the downside, but it is showing signs that it's trying to do something a little bit more to the upside. Checking out some of the smaller time frames with Bitcoin just to see what's up. Yeah, currently on the 15-minute, things are looking nice for that little move up. So some small swing trades or some small scalp trades could be in order here. And there's looking probably about a 3% move, so put a little bit of leverage on that can even get anywhere from 3 to, depending on how crazy you go with it, maybe 300%. Checking out Bitcoin dominance, because that's going to give us some clues as far as our altcoins go, right? Oh, looky here. This is something nice to see. So we're looking at the possibility of it doing a bottom pattern here, doing an inverted head and shoulders. It broke that. If that were to have happened, our altcoins would have been hurting bad. If this pattern would have confirmed, it would have been bad. And if it would have played out, it would have been even worse. So for it to break not only that pattern, but also to break market structure, very positive sign for our altcoins. So Bitcoin dominance is on a decline. And we should start seeing more movement to the upside on our altcoins. And that's actually welcome news. Now, if we take a closer look at what total 3, this is the altcoins minus Ethereum on the 4-hour time frame. And depending on how you have this drawn, but we have a ascending triangle. And we kind of came down here on some smaller time frames of the inverted head and shoulders, bobbing pattern, broke to the upside, came back into this pattern. Now, if you're a stickler, you may go with candle bodies, and that would be our lowest one for that pattern there. And we still have a little bit more to prove just to get up above that. We got to close the candle above there, but all signs are pointing for a very bullish move on the way for all altcoins as we break back into this pattern and break out of the other one. And I am actually looking for a fairly forcible move, considering that this is a bear trap. This is typically what we will see out of that. So altcoins should have a rather nice couple of days coming up. And looking at altcoins, the pattern that Bitcoin just failed in, the same one we see here where Bitcoin failed, is going to help this one complete. And that can foreshadow an even bigger little altcoin move, maybe an altcoin season coming. And that would be nice. Do not having this guy, and it definitely did not come back to my buy zone. This thing has just been going off like crazy. This is UNIBOT, and I remember seeing it when it was over here thinking, wow, it's had a good run. It should come down. Clearly it did not listen to me. But seeing what I'm seeing, it's got to get a pullback. It's got to be coming. And let's see if we can figure out where. So best I can see with UNIBOT, although it did not come back and get this level over here, it does seem to be on. Perhaps completing its third little wave there. So if there's a correction to be had here, I'm looking at these areas down pretty much about 0.03 up to 0.04. Currently this is trading at 0.062. And definite take profit areas could be anywhere 15 to 25 cents there. We'll have to narrow in after we kind of get a better feel and price structure, but this is on the daily. If this one comes down, I think it's a nice one to think about maybe getting into. Just don't need to see it break this yellow line here. So ideally, I'd like to see it stay above 0.03233 in that area. But it can come all the way down. And it can come down as far as it wants to, but this is just a little bit of basic Elliott wave theory here, but should begin to pull back. It is showing some toppy signs right here, so give this one about a week, maybe. Stricker said he wanted to do some trades, but decided not to. Week's been a little bit crazy. So time is looking up, and Peppy 2 is up 12%. No real screen mirrors, but I did clear out my list. Let's take a look at time. Was that a buy zone? Oh, if it got a retest right there. It fell below support here, came back, jumped up above it, and the game plan, I think at the time, was to buy the retest if it came here, so confirmed that we were retesting, but it didn't retest, it fell through. Can still retest this trend line here, and that's what it did. It went down there. Looks like it's finding some support on the 21 moving average of the daily. Okay, clearly don't need that anymore. So we're kind of sandwiched in between these trend lines and still yet below this one. So this one seems to be giving us a little bit of a headache. Let's come down to these lower time frames and see. The good news that we like about it is that we got the, on the 4 hour, 50 across the 200, that was the buy signal. And it's probably freaking a lot of people out to get a buy signal, which prices just come way down. Not really all that down. We're talking about 5% there. But I'm sure a lot of people were definitely not expecting that. Especially after a buy signal flashes. But look what happened. It was just a retest and lots of buy pressure just pulled everything up. All these moving averages are just entwined right there, right? And it's testing that 50, which is broken above the 200. That's extremely bullish. The 100 is getting ready to do it. They're all getting ready to be above that 100 moving average. This one is getting ready to do something. Maybe another explosive move like we saw over here. And this time I think it'll actually stick above this and find support above this area. So in my opinion, this one's in a good area to get in, especially if you just started following it when it had already gotten above $19. This is your time to buy back in or get in. There should be, in smaller time frames, a little bit of a pullback. So it looks like we're getting rejected at the 200 moving average, and it'll more likely come back to this 100 and definitely retest this 9, but they're all looking good. They're all looking to move to the upside. So actually I like what I'm seeing for time. That does look kind of weird though. When you try to zoom out and just see what it's doing there. But it's definitely bottoming out. And it may end up being in a range for a little bit. May not immediately see this one just start going to the moon. I mean, I got some targets way up here at 38, 39. That's way off in the distance, even the ones I got at 24, which that one little bump up came up to what, 23, 32. Came up to just under this area. So that tells us there's going to be a lot of resistance right there too at $22.82. But somebody playing this range, that's a nice 28% move there. But just seeing this price structure here, I mean, there is a good chance that this one can kind of bounce around in these areas for a little while before it starts finally moving to the upside there, to the prices that we really want to see out of it. But it's nice to see it move up like that. It's nice to see it catching the support, so maybe we'll see it do something like that again soon here over the next, within this next week anyway. Hey, Chris is in the house. Hey, Chris. Chris is looking at, there's an ad on my screen there. Yeah. New computers. Already trying to sell me something. Chris says, I'm looking at Allie and Lady. Both oversold on the daily, so much for your reaction. Okay, let's take a look at that. Ooh. Immediately you see that big juicy green dot there. Stochastic's getting ready to go to the upside. That looks nice. Oh no, was that internet problems? What's going on here? So I'm in a Comfort Inn, Comfort Suites, or whatever. Hopefully their internet will hold up. Most of the places we've been had better internet than I had expected. Still the downside on the weekly. Some indicators are starting to look a little bit of the histogram is. Deviations are curving around there. That's nice. Just leveled out on a lot of these others. A little bit of curving there. Still not positive on the weekly, but it's starting to get there. Starting to look better on the smaller ones. I don't know if it's going to be the real strong move that we're looking for out of this, but it's definitely shaping up. It's going to reclaim the 9 moving average, so can definitely possibly see it's 1022. Spikes up through there. It's about a 15 to 16%. Bigger time frame looks. It's an interesting shape there. So it doesn't look like you're going to come down here either. Oh, that was the potential because of the shape here and how we went up. Potentially come down. That's still in play, actually. I'm going to leave that there. So usually I go with candle bodies. I do like to keep those wicks in mind, though, so I don't rule them out. This guy here. So this is actually looking good. Hopefully this area will hold for support. That'll be a partial decline from this falling broadening pattern or a bullish megaphone. Basically, it's got a 72% chance to break to the upside, so that's good. And may get a break up there. Still always a possibility of coming back down here, but the more that this pattern plays out, the less likely this scenario is. Or if it does, it'll be further off and maybe later on in the year or next year. But this is a strong sign right here. So I like that. Hopefully it'll get enough volume to come in. Looks like it's going to get ready to do that on the daily. 4 hour. It's got some work ahead of it though. Being under the 200 on the 4 hour, that's going to be a little bit of a struggle there. The volume indicator is not working on here, so not giving me the information I need there. All the other indicators look pretty good. Stochastics are a little bit toppy, but it looks like this probably qualifies as a breakout for this kind of channel, or maybe a falling wedge that it kind of formed locally here. But you still got these wick areas to contend with there. So more of a channel. Still good odds to break to the upside though. It's just got to get enough strength to get above that 200 moving average before we see any real positive move coming on. Especially on the larger time frames. But definitely in the bottom of an area for someone trying to get this, especially for a longer term hold. If you like this coin, this is a perfect area to buy it in. 0.019. 0.019. And let's see, ladies was the other one, right? We'll go with the one over here on Mix C. So, Alright, Daily's got the dot. The last time I had a dot, didn't quite get it up too far. This one over here got it up a little bit. So, I'm not saying it's going to come down here, but it's got a possibility to do that. But it may get a, it could do something again like this and gradually make it down here, or maybe it'll get a turnaround here. I'm not seeing a whole lot of support, just some on the wicks and then a few candle bodies right here. Maybe that'll hold it. It's a good sign if it does. It's got some good signs that it wants to move up right now. MACD's a little bit sideways. VMC likes it. Stochastics turned up. Red dot here. Momentum waves at a bottom. Except for some divergence. So we've got some price going here. I haven't really confirmed this as a bottom yet. Need to see some upward action confirm that as a bottom. Kind of like we couldn't confirm this one as a bottom either, especially after it broke through. Don't see the divergence we need though. My honest opinion is I don't think it's through coming down. I think it's still got a little bit lower to go. And it just lost the 618 for this whole move, so yeah. I would look for the 786 area right there. Get these guys out of the way. And possibly the 886. Seeing the formation that we got here, I would not put that 886 out of the way. I mean, I know it looks good now, and it'll probably get a bump up a little bit on a smaller time frame, but I think it's going to play red light, green light slowly and move down, and hopefully I'm wrong. This is just kind of what I'm seeing on the bigger time frames. But after losing some of these levels, and just the fact of being under the 9, tells me these are not out of the question here. And that should actually set it up for a bigger move. I think it, and I am no expert at these things at all. But I think it's trying to set up something like this, a certain kind of W pattern that has a good measure move. According to this, let's see the 618. Right here in this area, 2573. We were just using our other just basic analysis that we would use for any measured move. It takes us up pretty much, well, where's that got us? 1705. So curious how this will play out. I'd be looking for some divergence to be forming on these when it actually shows where its actual bottom is going to be. Right now, I don't think it's found it. Jan says, I'm scared to buy and lose money because of rep yesterday. I saw a juicy Solana buy, but didn't the next day. I woke up and saw 12%. Oh, you missed a Solana move. Rep. This is actually the V2 version here that I'm using the crypto trading view chart. It's just charting it against the dollar. I use it because it has the most price history. It goes back to the beginning, usually on most of them. Can look at it. The other one I used to look at is on Uniswap. But let's see, some other places have it. I think Bittrex still does, dude. I think they're out. Kraken's got it. It's running about $1.93. So this is one I made a video on. I got it off the Token Metrics because their little bot AI thing said it picked it as a next 100x. So I thought, okay, I'll take a look at it, and it looks really cool. Decentralized gambling, sports betting platform, fully decentralized. The problem is there's nobody on it. So there has been in the past. I think around 2020 I saw some bets and things from back then, but I saw nothing current, so it may be a dead project or just I don't know. There's some building going on. It looks cool. Maybe it's a little before its time or something like that. Maybe it's a lottery play. Maybe it will go to nothing. I don't know. So I'm ruling this one out for a long-term play, unless you're just wanting to, you know, like me, if I have I'll have a little bit of a moon bag, and so I'll just let that ride. But also I have a little bit of money in it because I bought a little bit more, just a little higher than what it is now. So I am watching it for some more upward movement. It does look like it has potential to come up to, and may see up to $5 out of this one. Basically, we're kind of playing this as a bull flag. It acts like it doesn't want to be a bull flag, and it says we got the potential to come up to $6.74, and if it does, I'll be very happy, and hopefully a lot of other people will be too. Because we started looking at this when it was $1, so when we were getting in, just a little over $1, and so it already 2x'd from there. Went up to 350. Now if it comes up to these higher areas, it's 500% return, almost at 6x from the prices when we first started looking at it. So if you bought it down here, you're feeling cool and happy and moonbagged and pulled all your money out of it and you're just letting it ride, or maybe put some more, like I did, when it comes down to these lows, start putting some more money back into it, because it's got potential to go back up. If you bought it up through here, you're probably not feeling that way. And about the only thing you can do in those situations is add to it a little bit while it's down. Don't go crazy, but that helps pull your costs down. And then when we bounce back to the upside, which we should, it's just going to take this one a little while. It's got some work cut out for it. It's stumbling around right here, but it's at least headed back up to this 200 moving average, 278. It should at least do that. If not, if you start seeing it take below any of these wicks over here, let's go ahead and draw a line. My line in the sand would be this. If I start seeing that thing go below $1.74, you know, that's when maybe I would think about bailing out on, at least on the trade part that I've got, because it's not doing what I expected it to do, therefore meaning that trade is dead. Now my moon bag, I can let ride and offset the trade that I've got and things like that. That's kind of the cool thing about having a moon bag in it. And this one was quick to moon bag. I like that. I wish all the altcoins were that quick. But now we've had this big run up. You usually get slow and sideways for a little while we reaccumulate. And this wasn't the strongest breakout right here in this falling wedge. So it's likely we could end up double bottling, kind of ranging through here. It could be a slow mover for a little bit. And maybe a few spikes up. And just have to keep our eye on it. But it found support here twice, at this wick and that wick. So we just needed to keep it as support. If it shows that it's breaking this area as support, then we need to seriously take a little bit stronger look at it. And right now it's telling me that it's probably going to come back down here to about $1.75. And I'm going to try to actually catch this one and add to my bag that I bought. I think I ended up getting it about with Uniswap and how all that worked, I think about $2.19. So not the best price that I was aiming for there. Is it also good to just do a swing trade with stochastic RSI? Arrow in front of my chat there. I can't see what it says. And it moves with the chat. What's up? Oh, look! Hey, there's a lot more chat here I have not seen. Oh, we got to go through this. Is it also a good idea to just do a swing trade when stochastic RSI is low and crossing up and a green candle formation? What should I use? You need stochastic RSI and you need regular RSI. And what you want to do for your very best entries, whatever time frame, it's good to have two. You want a bigger one and you want a smaller one. I like the daily. The daily tells me what's going on because you can see the stochastics are high up here, right? Not the perfect time. My motor's revved up. That's what that means. My tachometer is going up. So she's revved up. She's going a little bit hot, a bit high. So it's best to wait till that gets down at the bottom. And what you want is your stochastics to be, let's see if we can get an example here. What's our, well, this one here is a good example. When we had this big drop, it'd be hard to catch that. But it's a perfect example to show you what I'm talking about here. We can get this one up. Come on. There we go. So right here, let's mark that little guy. I mean, you can go join all these trading courses and trading groups, and they want to tell you this. They're just going to charge you for it. Actually, you can learn in my opinion, you can learn everything in somebody's style just watching what they're doing. You watch what I'm doing here, you learn my style. And I don't mind sharing that. All right, so we got a vertical line there, right? This is a perfect time to buy when your stochastics are at the bottom and low, especially when they're just starting to come back up. That's your signal. When they bounce off the bottom, they start to come back up. That's technically your buy signal. And when you can catch your RSI doing the same thing, being at the bottom, when they're both at a bottom, no matter where, that's usually one of your very best buy signals ever. And they've really not come back low. So stochastics under 30 is the number you're looking for. This one dipped really low there, but here was a low. It's not as low, but it's still a good possible buying opportunity when they're on the low, and also your stochastics are on the low. So you want to make sure your indicators are bottomed out as much as they can be. Still, this was a good time to buy, but not the best time. Here's another time when it was down low. Let's mark that one. Yeah, wrong line. That's close enough. And then we come up here to this one. And it's at a low too. And one thing I like about the BMC, this is a market cipher where you can be a cheapie like I am and get the free one. BMC on TradingView, it's there. It's got a lot of 5 different indicators all just wrapped up in one. You got your stochastics, and then you got some cool other ones, and it gives you the green dot on the money flow or the momentum wave here. It's a handy one to have. I like it. That tells you that was one of the best times to buy on rep, but here clearly it did have a nice little spike up after, but clearly it kept coming down. I even had some divergence there. It's odd that this didn't even play out at all. So we can't say it's 100%, but it usually is close. But there still was a 20% move to the upside out of all that. And it's the same thing for selling. You want your stochastics to be high and your RSI to be high at the same time. And that's usually when you catch peaks. With this crazy spike right there, we can see that stochastics topped out, right? And they kind of get pinned up there. RSI doesn't get pinned up there as bad, but it spiked up. So those are your signals. So using those two should help you, and then you throw in some other things that you notice about maybe what you notice about candles, how much of a wick that it has, because usually I have a blow off top with a wick with a lot of buy pressure, a lot of people taking profit in there. Bollinger Bands are pretty cool. Also comes in stretch. You get candle closes outside of them that has potential to keep going. But they usually help you find bottom areas pretty nicely. Sometimes. Little give and take here, but the biggest thing is like when things squeeze on the Bollinger Band, you know what move is coming. Up or down. There's going to be when they get tight like this, then something's going to pop one way or the other. So you look for other signs to kind of tell you which way it's going to go. And right now it's getting squeezed again. So there's your sign. And my other indicators say it's got a good chance to go to the upside. So jeez, I got a lot of catching up to do here. Invertiendo dinero, diamond hands. Hey, how's it going? Oh, Floki safe moon. Let's see, Ali had a big pump previously after the AI craze. Yeah, and those coins have not made it back up to those numbers yet either. That's a good lesson. Not members in the house. I don't know if I can do Floki Safe Moon I'm on a mobile. I'm not on my normal setup. I know it's on Dex Tools. I don't think a lot of you guys are here, but Floki Safe Moon hit some interesting places at the bottoms, and so I picked up just a little bit, and it's actually up. So let's take a look at this. See if we can find Dex Tools. Okay. Clearly I don't have it on. There's a whole new computer setup and everything. I've got nothing on here. And let's see, I think it was FSM and this guy here. The one that ends in 40C3. And it's trading, the pair is Floki Safe Moon against Wrap BNB. So I put a little bit of BNB in here. And let's go to a bigger time frame. So this does not have any of the other work that I had. It actually went lower than what I had. I was expecting it to stick around this area here, and then that floor fell through. And when you just recovered it, which is a very bullish move actually. So can we blow this guy up? Get some indicators here. Get a RSI, which is not showing up. Oh, that's useless. Okay, we'll come back to indicators. Right now, I'm just looking at price action, which it broke above. It flipped this as support. Well, not officially. It may very well come back down to retest this area. Because it held as support, and then it was resistance, and we flipped above it. We have not retested it. So very likely, and that could be a great area for anyone wanting to do degen in on the meme coin. Because there's empty meme coins. Not going to change the world. But they can be profitable to trade. And it appears we're in a channel. Alright, so interesting how it may come back down here. I really need to get, let's get some moving averages. Or Bollinger Bands will work. We'll go with that. Because this is a 20 moving average, and I can go with that. So far that still looks strong. There may be another wick actually down here, but really need to see a candle body closed to kind of rule out it coming back at a later time. So it can either continue in this channel until it does break at some point and retest this. That could be what we're looking at. But right now it's showing some strong signs that it wants to stay inside this channel. But it's got it. That's 112% move from here to there. Let me check and see what mine's worth now. It made some impressive gains for, you know, yeah. Just in the small moves that I've done there, and it can go higher. This is technically a bearish pattern that it's in, but I mean it's on a trajectory. It's not showing any signs of being weak at all there yet. I just know that at some point we got to flip this area. It's got to come down here and touch it at least one more time. And then we can start looking at these other areas to flip, which is that one and this one right here. Got another one right there. So usually when you get the parabolic run up, you do have down, and then you got sideways. There's accumulation going on. So in the bigger scheme of things, I mean, we can get a good, nice little run up, but it can also come back down to these areas and retest before we get a really good jump up to the upside. Or it could just decide to go crazy here, but this scenario is usually kind of what most things lean to. But the rules of the game are you keep in this channel until you are not. And if it breaks to the upside of it, that's good. That's going to be a strong move. Breaks to the downside, we're going to do that double bottom scenario. But so far, so good. Don't trust it. Going back over the chart stuff, and I keep forgetting the different setups for double bottoms that turn bullish or bearish. Usually they're always bullish, but I mean sometimes there'll be a fake out. There's been a couple that caught me by, well, low-key safe move. It looked like that area was actually going to hold. Oh, no problem, Chris. Low-key safe move to the moon. Yeah, we finally we split the trip up into 2 days. Stayed over at one hotel one night, just not too far outside of Nashville right now, and we'll probably be staying here because my family lives in this area. So yeah, having fun, seeing some family I haven't seen in a while. I just didn't think. Can you guys actually see that? I'm pulling up the chat here in my box, which normally back home, I think you guys can actually see it with me on the screen. But on this computer, it doesn't show it. Okay, so I gotta make sure that I click all the things that bring them up. Sorry about that. See good uptrend potential for ARB-EUR. We'll take a look at that. Oh, Pinocchio, yeah, Prokitoshi. Yeah, I hope you got, yeah, safe moon. Yeah, I did that just a few seconds ago. So I'm pretty sure you guys saw it because I'm late on catching up with all you guys. Hamstring says half safe moon win. But I've got a little skin in the game on FSM too, so told you I'd catch it on those bottoms. So let's check out Arbitrum. And that was the euro, right? There it is. So far, it looks pretty promising. Possible, it's not really a great inverted head and shoulder. Could be. Let's see, we got this guy. Oh, well, okay. No, it's not. You didn't make that neckline. It could be making a funky looking one. So the only issue I've got with this where it's broke market structure right here. Look at this guy. Because it's in a rising channel, and that's bearish. Although it had a bullish breakout of a larger pattern. I mean, this is normal, this is cool. But it's got a chance to come back and retest some of these lower areas. First, it's going to get past this 50 moving average. That's going to be about $1.03. There's some signs here that it may be trying to take a move to the upside, but the market structure is saying no, unless this is like a bear trap, then this moving averages are saying it's probably coming down, down or sideways. So at least for the next few days. Let's see, take a look at the smaller time frames here. Well, that's interesting. So it's been above the 200 moving average in the 4 hour. That's bullish. It lost it. Now it's reclaimed it. This one's actually kind of a hard call. It looks like it could possibly be doing a bear trap because our moving averages are stacked up just really not. The two smaller ones will have no problem getting back in line, and the two major ones, which should be a problem, they're not. So this one's got to be curious. It looks like it could be setting up to do something like that. So I wouldn't rule that out. I think you need to watch this one for that possibility. If it does get back above this trend line, if it gets back above this 100 moving average here on the 4 hour, find support there, that would be a great place to get in or add to a trade, because it should definitely go up. Your other scenario is for it getting rejected here, and that's what normally happens. Moving averages say that may not happen this time. And there's some other signs showing that the more bullish scenario may play out. So I'd keep my eyes open for that. If it does come down, I mean, you're looking about it's not good. I mean, it's not horrible, but you probably wouldn't want to ride through it. You're talking about 88 cents is where your actual measured move would take you, and it may not make it down that far, but enough to hurt. But that is the normal scenario when you break out of the trend line, come back up a retest, and then start working your way down here. That's what normally happens. So just be prepared for that, but it's got a chance to break back up in here and then do something really nice. And if it breaks up in here and doesn't start doing anything really nice, I would watch that as a bad sign too. It will be a quick move if it plays out the way it's supposed to. But that would come back up to these other areas where it was about $1.30. And that playing out is not a bad move, about another 20%. But if it comes down the other way, it's best to be positive 20% than negative 20%. So just keep that in mind. A stop loss below here would be a good place. Because if price does come back down there and breaks that line, you know it's over. you know that you put your stop loss here. If it comes down below that, you know the scenario is what's going to happen, and that one's not. Striker says, I think halftime would be a clever ERC20 token. Striker should be a comedian. I want to see XLM keep pushing. Ooh, look at that thing go. Makes me feel silly for not buying more when it was down here. I don't have a whole lot of this. The one I actually had for a while. She's ready to do some big things. So there is a good chance, don't know when, but at some point, like we were talking about with the other coin, it's got to come back into this area, just about 11.5 cents, and retest it. It's got to come back, and it's got to put its foot on the ground there at some point. And hopefully I'll catch it this time. But right now it looks really, really strong though. There might be a possibility, but doing it soon, but sooner than I thought. But no, it looks really strong. Ichimoku Cloud looks really nice. And it lost the non-moving average on the daily, but it's regained it so far. Four hours looking nice. actually fits really nice there. So much like the one we just looked at, Floki Safe Moon. It's going to be in the upward channel until it's not there anymore. So I mean, it's showing some signs of being a little bit tired, but it's still got a lot of energy. It's still got a lot of run left in it, I think. All right, guys. Well, the time is now 12:07 Central Time. I'm actually an hour later, I believe, than my normal time. I hope that has not been an inconvenience, but appreciate you guys for being here. Losing my chat box again. Lost it completely. Alright. But guys, I will try to be back here streaming again tomorrow night, and I hope we'll see you guys then. Here in Appalachia. You guys have a good night.
Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice, ice, ice.